Roads and Highways Minister Kwesi Amoakwata has conceded the flash floods that occurred in the Upper West region as a result of torrential rains is enormous, but will be fixed in record time. He's happy that no life was lost in the floods, urging the chiefs and people of the region to be strong whilst government takes steps to fix the roads. Kwesi Amoakwata made the statement before he jumped into the helicopter to assess the extent of damage on major roads in the region. 8 municipalities and districts have been cut off from the regional capital, with some residents also cut off from their district capitals. Correspondent Rafiq Salam joins us via Zoom. Rafiq, what is the latest on the situation?
The latest on the situation is that the water has receded, but what we are seeing are only culverts that are left without bituminous surface on them. And so it's really difficult for people to move from one end of the road to the other. And so for now, the people are at their wit ends, and then transport fares in the region has risen several times. Such an instance like Jiroba, which used to be about 20 Ghana cedis, now is now 50 cedis.
All along, we have talked about the impact of this on transport, but do we know if human lives have been affected, or at least, farms, for instance, because a lot of these people like to farm along those lines?
From our checks, it revealed that there was no human lost. But what we can also report to you that there are several communities that were inundated by the flash floods. NADMO has yet to ascertain or to assess the situation to tell us the number of people that are affected by the floods. But yesterday, there was also news about the Wahabu River that was also cut off. And so clearly means that people from the Walembele and then Bugubele enclave cannot have access to the capital of the Upper West region. And so for now, no human lost, but the damage is colossal.
You were on the tour with the roads minister. Did he indicate how soon works will begin, in repairing the roads?
He penciled one particular contractor, PNW Ghanem, who they have penciled to lead the charge in the fixing of the roads. Unfortunately for them, this is the same contractor who constructed about 90% of the roads in the Upper West region, including some of the bridges that were washed away. And then, according to his observation, he's saying that the bridges are intact. So clearly means that there was solid work that was done. And so he's inviting the contractor P and the Blue Ghanem to Accra, and they will meet on Monday for an emergency meeting. And then after that, work will start. He didn't give any timeline regarding when these roads will be fixed, but he's saying that it is not a regional problem, a regional emergency, but he's taking it as a national emergency. And the president is happy and has asked him to tell the people, assure the people of the Upper West region that it will be fixed in record time.
That's the Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam bringing us update on the floods there in the region. Let's speak to NADMO. Ahmed Mustafa is the Upper West director of NADMO, and he joins us on the phone with an update of the situation. Do you now have on record how many people have been affected by the flood?
Yes, thank you very much, and good evening to your teaming listeners. Yes, as at work, close of work today, we're able to use an approach through the local district assembly or the local assembly members and unit committee members in some of these affected areas. And we have come up with some preliminary assessment. And this assessment includes the number of farmlands that have been washed away, the number of people being displaced, and the number of houses that have actually been collapsed. So we have a total number of 722 people, farmlands that have been washed away by this flash flood on Friday. And the number of farmers who have actually been hit by this flood stood at 1,605. And the number of houses that have been rained down completely is 336. As at close of work today, this is what we've been able to get through some 3 administrative districts and municipalities in the Upper West regions who were badly affected. That is the Nadole Kaleo district, the Jirepa municipality, and the Dafiama Buse Esa districts, respectively.
Once you have the figures, I suppose relief items have started, flowing to the people.
Yes, that's supposed to be the issue. But as at this evening, it was still very difficult for us to get to some of this community. Just like your reporter has actually indicated, the water level has actually gone down, but it's not actually motorable. So we are still using some of these assemble members. One actually indicated to me that they were going to use some stones and other materials to fix on some part of the road so that our vehicle can plow the road to the community. So as and when that is done, we are ready to at least go to assist some of these individuals that were badly affected. In fact, I've even indicated to my operations staff and my good self that tomorrow, God willing, we'll get to Nadoli, the district capital, one of the district capital, to see which area is it that we can actually move into to assist some of these individuals.
But however, for those whose homes have been affected, many of them may have to sleep rough if you do not move in with some support immediately. Is there a plan for them?
Yes, there's actually a plan in place. We are actually using the religious leaders in some of these districts and municipalities, as well as using the opportunity of the basic schools that are currently on holidays for them to actually give out these spaces for them to be on temporary basis. Because as it is now, it will be very difficult for us to use the tent system at the community level because of the gravity of what happened on Friday. So the religious leaders and the Ghana Education Service are actually assisting us in this area so that people can actually evacuate to use their facility once we wait for at least a lasting solution to the issue.
Ahmed Mustafa, I'm grateful for your time. That's the Upper West Director for NADMO, giving us an update of the situation. They have been able to come up with the numbers and started a plan to bring relief to the people.